文明因交流而多彩，文明因互鉴而丰富。2022年7月，世界汉学家理事会在北京语言大学正式成立。同年8月8日，世界汉学家理事会执行机构世界汉学中心在青岛西海岸揭牌成立。2年来，世界汉学中心在国家多部委的支持下，创新国际文化交流学术研究合作机制，积极开展国际汉学学术交流与文明对话，在凝聚汉学家力量、服务汉学家群体过程中发挥了重要作用，为中外民心相通与世界文明交流互鉴贡献出世汉力量。世界汉学中心致力于整合世界汉学、汉学研究与汉学家工作资源，为中外文明互鉴输送更多优质的学术力量。中心依托于现有辐射“一带一路”67个语种、103个国家的丰富的汉学家资源，激活遍布全球的汉学家人脉沟通及机构联通网络。中心集中建设包括知识中心、翻译中心、研习中心、写作中心、会议中心在内的协同创新体系，形成产学研用的良性循环。知识中心建成全球范围内覆盖语种最多、数据信息最全、监测跟踪最为及时的世界汉学动态知识数据库，成为世界汉学的根服务器。翻译中心力求提升全球中文信息多语种的转换和处理能力，与新技术和新产业高度融合，全方位应对不同产业领域的语言需求。写作中心聚集海外汉学家、译者、作者和出版人本土化写作中国故事，以地方为核心，努力塑造可信、可爱、可敬的中国形象。会议中心围绕全球热点问题，展开高端国际交流与对话和相关学术理论问题的深入探讨和研究，搭建高水平国际人文交流平台。研习中心辐射140个“一带一路”沿线和世界其他地区不同国家的年轻汉学家、高级译者及汉学后起之秀，通过研习、交流和培训，不断扩大知华友华的国际舆论朋友圈和后备力量，建设全球沟通联络网络，学术交流推动互学互鉴。2023年7月，由世界汉学中心提供全平台学术支持的第3届文明交流互鉴对话会暨首届世界汉学家大会成功召开。中共中央总书记、国家主席习近平向大会致贺信。2年来，世界汉学中心成功召开首届中国巴尔干汉学大会、北非地区汉学家大会、首届喜马拉雅中国论坛南亚地区汉学家大会、拉美汉学家大会、美国汉学家大会、5场海外汉学家大会，并开展了57次涵盖全球汉学家的交流活动，覆盖了全球37个语种、78个国家，在全球完成了50个海外分中心与国别理事会的点位布局，形成了全球性的联络沟通网络。7月15至17日，构建中拉命运共同体首届拉美地区汉学家大会在阿根廷举行。此次大会汇聚了来自拉美不同国家的300余位著名汉学家、知名中国研究学者、政要及文化人士，就拉美地区汉学与中国学发展的最新成果和发展趋势进行研讨，探讨中拉开放共赢的高水平合作路径与方向。此次大会的召开，在拉美各界引起巨大震动，掀起地区汉学与中国学热潮， 并引起拉美域外国家和传统汉学与中国学强国的广泛关注。同时，世界汉学家理事会框架下首个区域理事会也正式宣告成立。阿根廷前总统克里斯蒂娜·费尔南德斯·德基什内尔和金砖国家新开发银行行长，巴西前总统迪尔马·罗塞夫，以及现任洪都拉斯总统西奥马拉·卡斯特罗与众多拉美地区领导人和学者共同组成拉美汉学家理事会。7月21日至23日，以美国汉学视域下的中国当代发展为主题的美国汉学家大会成功召开。美国汉学家大会是世界汉学中心在世界范围内举办的以中外文明交流互鉴为议题的又一重要区域性汉学家大会。来自美国的17位著名汉学家出席大会。徐宝峰教授主编的《中国文化知识词典》多语种版权输出项目入选“一带一路”出版合作典型案例，英语、德语、阿语、俄语、葡萄牙等30多个语种的已陆续出版刊行。今年，世界汉学中心双项目入选国家出版基金。北京语言大学校长段鹏教授主编的《一带一路汉学经典书系》，与徐宝峰教授担纲的《世界汉学家口述中文与中华文化国际传播史》第1集荣膺资助。亚洲经典著作互译计划不断推进，多项成果亮相第30届北京国际图书博览会。世界汉学中心组织汉学家翻译出版图书多部，建设易寻一站式翻译平台，初步完成包含30国别11语种的翻译产业体系规划，践行全球文明倡议，积极推动文明对话。世界汉学讲坛自启动以来，已成功举办20余讲，30国50余名汉学家发表演讲。去年3月，世界汉学讲坛第3讲成功举办，世界范围内40余国的汉学家和青年汉学学者展开交流讨论。今年1月，中心启动全球文明对话，首场中译文明对话直播在线人数超过20万。今年6月，启动中拉汉学季，拉美9国15位驻华使节来清共同见证。加快建设世界汉学人才培养中心和学术创新高地。2023年10月，世界汉学与中国学研究大会在青岛圆满举行，来自全国130余所高等院校的300余位专家学者出席。此次大会作为汉学中国学研究界规模最大、规格最高的综合性公共学术交流平台，中心发起和支持中国汉学研究史论丛书项目，组织来自国内20余所高等院校40多位专家学者，紧扣中国自主知识体系构建的核心议题，对中国改革开放40年间的海外汉学研究进行了深入系统的学术回顾与总结。2年来，在中外语言交流合作中心、中国国际交流协会等部委机构的指导下，多次成功举办新汉学计划博士毕业生研习营、世界汉学家青岛行、百国青年对话等主题研习营活动，共计来自89个国家100余名优秀青年汉学家和青年汉学学者，在青岛开启当代中国国情研修。翻译中心多次开展中国文博笔译工作坊、中国影视笔译工作坊等高级中文翻译人才培养项目，吸引85个国家的500余名学员参加，持续赋能中外民心相通，为中外民心相通和文明互鉴。世界汉学中心不断以实际行动为中华文明与世界文明的交相辉映 搭平台、拓资源、建品牌、做项目，持续开展多渠道、宽领域、高水平的中外人文交流活动。世界汉学中心期待继续与世界汉学家和中国相关领域的专家学者共同探索汉学的广阔天地，增进世界人民对中国文化的了解，世界和平发展和人类文明进步，阐述解读中国思想、中国理念和中国实践，为构建人类命运共同体贡献中国的经验智慧，共同见证人类文明交流互鉴之全新局面。
Honorable Mr. Vice Minister Lu Kang, faculty members, colleagues, students, good morning. In this beautiful autumn season, we are gathering in the beautiful University of BLCU to organize the second World Conference of Sinologists Beijing academic session. Please allow me to introduce the officials and guests to you today. Vice Minister of the Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committee, Mr. Lu Kang. Former Under-Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Eric Solheim. Congressman of the National Justicialist Party of Argentina, Mr. Emilio José Ramón. Vice Secretary General, Madam Zhu Huijie from CAFIU. Deputy DG of the Department of Foreign Experts, Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security, Mr. Shi Mainan. Madam Li Ying from the Chinese Museum. Division Director, Mr. Liu Jianjun from the Division of European Affairs. Mr. Duan Peng, Chairman of the World Center for Sinology and President of the BLCU. Professor Mu Ye, Professor Cao Boyi, as well as the other professors coming from the 5 continents, the great experts of sinology, as well as faculty member and the student representatives from BLCU. On behalf of our university, BLCU, I'd like to send the warmest greetings of welcome to all the attendees of our forum today. My name is Ni Haidong, the Party Secretary of BLCU. It's a great for me to be the moderator. BLCU is a major university under the direct leadership of our country. It's also the cradle for sinologists and also sinology researches and development. The promotion of sinology, it's one of the natural responsibilities. In July last year, under the leadership of the Publicity Department of CPC Central Committee, BLCU, and the National Museum of Copies have organized the first edition of World Conference of Sinologists. President Xi Jinping has sent a letter of greetings to the opening of the first edition of the conference. And this year, once again, we have this honor to have organized the second edition of the World Conference of Sinologists. We're about to translate the instruction of President Xi Jinping into real actions, and we're about to promote better understanding and the development of sinologists. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Lu Kang, Vice Minister of Publicity Department of the Central Committee of CPC. Thank you. Honorable Mr. Eric Solheim, Mr. Duan Peng, Mr. Emilio Jose Ramon, dear faculty members and students, 3 days ago, some of us have gathered in Nanping of Fujian province. At the foot of Wuyi Mountain, we have started our exchanges. And we have also talked about understanding Chinese civilization to jointly promote global modernization. Once again, we are gathered here in the BLCU. The Beijing academic session of the Second World Conference of Sinologists is one important part of the Second World Conference. In order to apply the instructions of President Xi Jinping, during the First World Conference of Sinologists, and also bringing to full play the role of the sinologists of the world in order to promote the Chinese civilization understanding, we have created this very important platform. During our exchanges in Fujian province, we were happy to see that during the Second World Conference of Sinologists, we have come to the important consensus, namely understanding Chinese civilization to jointly promote global modernization. We have to share the opportunities and also bridge the people together. It's very happy for me to follow excellent keynote speeches by the speakers during the opening session of the Second World Conference of Sinologists. I've also followed the presentations of many sinologists and great experts. We're happy to see that all those sinologists have visited Fuzhou, Zhangzhou, Nanping, and Xiamen City, just as President Xi Jinping has done in the past. We have also considered the Confucianism as well as the Zhuzi theory as the starting point, and we have talked about protection of cultural heritage, the protection and development of traditional villages. We have also learned the Fujian practices of Chinese-style modernization. So we have both theoretical and practical exchanges. Today, once again, we are gathered in Beijing. With this main thing, we have one main forum and 5 sub-fora. We will discuss how we can bring into full play the role of the sinologists. We will share our knowledge as well as our wisdom. We will bring into full play also the application of the Global Civilization Initiative. We have to continue to stay open and honest one towards the other and maintain the people-to-people exchange. According to President Xi Jinping, since ancient times, Chinese people have demonstrated this openness towards the outside world. We always admire the mutual understanding and mutual respect among different civilizations. You all come from different countries, but you have the shared love for Chinese civilization. I hope that you can contribute your own part to the full-fledged development of civilization and also build a better world with the support of civilization. We have to continue to work in an innovative way. Only with the diversity and the integration of different elements could we bring into the world new creations. This is how we can push forward the development of sinology. I hope that all of you, based on different civilizations, could contribute to a culturally diversified world, and you can also combine the past with the future as well as with the present, and we can all turn a new chapter in the development of sinology. We have to work for our common vision. With the civilization of humankind moving forward, this tendency will never be inversed. We have the shared community that will not be changed. Under the guidance of the Global Civilization Initiative, I hope that you could understand in depth the meaning of the Chinese-style modernization, and I hope that you can make full use of our platform of communication of this World Conference of Sinologists. And I also hope that you could all tell a very good and attractive story about China so that we can benefit as many countries and people as possible. Taking this opportunity, I'd like to say thank you to the organizer. In recent years, BLCU has created the World Sinology Center as well as the other platforms. For example, the Council for World Sinologists. So BLCU has played a very important role in promoting the development of sinology studies. Moving forward, we will work more closely with BLCU to create new perspectives for the world sinology development, and we're about to take the following measures. First of all, we're about to create the Council of World Conference of Sinologists and build a network so that we can facilitate the communication and also to deepen the researches of sinology. Second, we're about to launch the studying camp of sinologists. On a regular basis, we invite sinologists to come to China for a visit so that we can bring closer the Chinese and foreign sinologists. Number three, we have this plan for publication of works by sinologists so we can further the exchanges of different culture and the exchange of people. You're all messengers of Chinese civilization. You are also contributor to the integration of different civilizations. Let's join our hands and make efforts together to contribute to the human civilization. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Minister Lu Kang, for your opening speech. We're about to follow the rules that you have set for us to well accomplish our task of promotion of cultural exchanges among the sinologists. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Eric Solheim, former Undersecretary General of the United Nations, for a video speech.
Hello, everyone. Ni hao. I feel enormously privileged to be asked to speak to the Conference of Sinologists in the great province of Fujian. Back in the days in the 1200s, a young European, you all know him, Marco Polo, went all the way from Venice in Italy, all the way to China, and ultimately visited Hangzhou, which at the time was the biggest city in the world. When he came back to Italy, he got the nickname Il Milione, meaning the thousand, because people said, you are exaggerating 1,000 times what you have seen in China. No European at the time could imagine such a wealth, such a wonderful, technologically advanced nation with great cities and a great culture like China had at the time. Hangzhou was 15 times bigger than the biggest city in Europe at the time, which was Paris. And of course, anyone who wants to study the splendor of humanity needs to go to China. Some of the greatest leaders of history anywhere in the world were Chinese, just to mention a couple. Tang Tai-sung, the great emperor of Tang, established system for leadership which we can learn from everywhere in the world, even today. And another of my favorites, the Emperor Song Tao-su, who established the Song dynasty, again also put new principles of leadership into place, which are wonderful even today. And historically, China has a much larger civilization. It was a much higher population of people who could read and write in China than in nearly all other places. The technological advancement were much higher. And during the Song dynasty, China invented something very critical for humanity, a merit-based system, very different from all traditional societies where you needed to be a part of the noble society to achieve anything or to get any position in society. During Song's complete transformation, the leading people were the literate experts rather than the people from the nobility. So being the carriers of this great Chinese wisdom and history and tradition to the world is such a fantastic, important job, which all you sinologues are doing. Please continue with this so that we can learn more from each other in the world. Look, every big issue in our time is more easy to resolve if we work together. China and Europe, America and India, Africa, if we all work together, we can find solutions to climate change or environment degradation, wars in Ukraine or in Gaza, to how to restore the economies and bring prosperity to everyone, how to bring all humans out of poverty. Much easier to resolve if we work together, and then we need a dialogue between civilizations, which you are at the front of. How can such a dialogue really happen? It must be based on two fundamental principles. One is respect. You should demand that everyone respect the Chinese culture, while at the same time, of course, Chinese need to show respect for European or Indian or any other cultures. The American civilization is 1/10 as long as the Chinese. American people is 1/4 as big as the Chinese, and China has a much more splendid history with a much more modern present. So Americans, of course, should respect China, but vice versa. Chinese should respect America as the cradle of the industrial and scientific revolutions in the last 200 years and the birthplace of great leaders like, say, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. If we show respect, we will be doing much better. Added to that, we need to have dialogue when there are different views. But at the bottom of all this is the dialogue between civilizations. Every nation in the world try to and want to modernize, but they don't want to westernize. Japan was the first nation who really modernized without becoming a Western nation. It's still very Japanese. And the same with Korea, very modern, but very Korean. China is very modern, but rooted in its Confucian tradition, with also elements of Taoism and Buddhism and more. And of course, in India, Prime Minister Modi is now trying to root Indian modernity in the great Hindu traditions. So we should all respect each other in this profound way. Finally, while we have a lot to be proud of in every civilization, we also need to learn from each other. And maybe the greatest symbol of that in Chinese history is the great monk Xuanzang. He made this great journey to the West. It took him 20 years to go to India and come back during Tang Dynasty. But he had the idea that I need to learn. Nalanda, in what's today's state of Bihar in India, was, in his way of thinking, the most fantastic knowledge place on planet Earth, and he wanted to go there to take all these lessons back to China. And in reality, probably Buddhism is the one and only foreign ideology which has really taken root in China. But that idea of learning from each other must be based on the great work of understanding civilizations, and you sinologues play such a critical role in explaining to the world how wonderful, fantastic, beautiful the Chinese civilization is. Thank you so much. 谢谢.
Thank you very much for the video contribution of Mr. Eric Solheim. Now I'd like to invite Chairman of the World Center for Sinology and President of Beijing Language and Culture University, Mr. Duan Peng. Honorable Vice Minister Lu Kang, and Congressman Mr. Emilio Jose Ramon, dear colleagues, experts, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In this beautiful autumn season, we have the Jinko yellow around us, and we are gathering in BLCU to witness the Beijing academic sessions opening ceremony of the second World Conference of Sinologists. First of all, on behalf of all the faculty members and students of BLCU, I'd like to send greetings to all the experts and friends coming from afar to our event. In the meantime, I also would like to thank all those that have an admiration for the Chinese civilization and that have contributed to the cultural development. Greetings to all of you. How time flies. Just in a short period of time, we come to the opening ceremony of the second World Conference. Last year, by July, we have created and launched the first edition of the World Conference. Thereby, we have a platform for the global transmission of Chinese civilization and the Chinese language. Today, once again, we meet each other in BLCU, and the topic is understanding Chinese civilization to jointly promote global modernization. So that we can have a better understanding of the Chinese civilization, we'd like to know how Chinese civilization are interacting and integrating with the other civilization, while promoting a better understanding of Chinese civilization. We are also making Chinese contribution to the diversification of world civilization. Let's look forward to a gala of the cultural exchanges, and let's contribute our wisdom to the world development. We are passing by the traditions from the past, and we are combining the past with the present and the future. Chinese civilization is one of the major civilizations that have never been stopped in its development history and is represented by a major country. Starting by the oracle inscriptions to the bronze inscriptions, from the four inventions to the Silk Road, from the Confucianism to the Zhuxi theory, we have the DNA of culture. And we are promoting the development of technology, thoughts, as well as the culture in the world. The transmission of the high-quality Chinese civilization. This has laid solid foundation for the Chinese thinking. To better understand the civilization, first of all, we have to spread them. And also we have to notice that the civilization of China is always changing and evolving. We have to create the bridges connecting the past and the present. Today, when we do the sinology development and researches, we have to consider it as a live culture. And we have to understand its role in the modernization process. We have to put it into the context of different stages of history so that the world can have a new understanding of Chinese civilization and Chinese path of modernization. When we promote cultural exchanges, Chinese civilization could be integrated into the global one. Diversification is the major feature of the civilization of the world, and also it's the source for human progress. Because we are diversified, that's why we are always open towards the outside world. Because there are exchanges, we can become more open and more enriched, more diversified. And our great sinologists, the research results and your translation works have demonstrated to the whole world a multi-layered and admirable Chinese civilization. And you are also demonstrating an ancient China's image and also a modern China that is collaborating with the rest of the world and is also inclusive and open. We are sharing this new story about China to the rest of the world, and thanks to your unique language system, dear sinologists, You can break down the barriers of information. You can allow more countries in the world to understand the civilization of ancient and the present China. Third, together we are promoting the global modernization and create a better future for mankind. Today, with a lot of ups and downs in the global landscape and with the extremist development, we need more than ever a leading language and thinking model, as is proposed by President Xi Jinping in the Global Initiative for Civilization. We have to strengthen human to human, people to people cultural exchanges, create a network of communication, and expand the channels for communication so that the people can know better one about the other and promote together the development of the civilization. In a new world and in a new era, the Chinese civilization are not afraid of challenges. We're about to revolutionize the contents, and we will expand the coverage beyond the limits of academic researches. We are also about to embrace practical science. Dear guests, practices no limits, and for BLCU, we are the only university bearing the term language in our name of the university, and we work directly under the Ministry of Education. We have trained 300,000 students coming from 189 countries and regions of the world, and these students, foreign students, they have a very well understanding about the Chinese civilization. Today, we have created 23 Confucius Institutes in the whole world. In Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, about 20 countries. Overseas, we have created 20 centers of sinology. BLCU is the first university to create a level 2 doctoral education station for sinology. And we are one of the beginners to do that. We have 3 traditional pillar disciplines. We also have the combination of other disciplines with the language studies. We have a new framework of education with 3 new branches and 3 pillar disciplines. Today, with the collaboration with the Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committee, we have launched the translation program. We have also signed MOUs with other countries for the translation of the classics. This is a way that we can enrich the world civilization. This year, we have published Belt and Road series of publications. We have received financial support from the national government. We have also published the new works for people to have a better understanding about China's sinology development. And we'd like to spend a whole decade with the joint effort of all the faculty members and the students to represent 100 Chinese classics to the whole world. We're about to join our hands to make our part of contribution. And I sincerely hope that all the participants, the sinologists, could share all your thoughts and also make full use of this platform, so together we can plan the future for the development of sinology. We also hope that this event could become one part of your beautiful memory. To conclude, I'd like to wish a big success to the second World Conference of Sinologists, the Beijing academic session. Thank you, President Duan Peng. Now, I'd like to invite Congressman of the National Justicialist Party of Argentina, Mr. Emilio José Ramón.
Buenos días a todos y a todas. Es un honor y un placer estar presente en este maravilloso encuentro. Mi nombre es Emilio Rivera, argentino, ingeniero y congresal del Partido Justicialista. Estoy verdaderamente muy feliz de ser partícipe de este segundo encuentro de la Conferencia Mundial de Sinología.
Good morning. It's a great honor for me to participate in the Beijing academic session of the Second World Conference of Sinologists. As is mentioned by our moderator, my name is Emilio José Ramón, Congressman of the National Justicialist Party of Argentina. First of all, I'd like to thank all the representatives from different countries. In particular, I'd like to say thank you to the Chinese government and people. Thank you for your invitation.
Mis primeras palabras no pueden ser sino de agradecimiento al pueblo y al gobierno chino por la ayuda que hemos recibido durante la pandemia del COVID-19. La entrega de vacunas y elementos médicos ahorraron sufrimientos y permitieron salvar miles de vidas de argentinos. Eternamente gracias.
I'm thankful for the Chinese government and the Chinese people because during COVID-19 they have given us a lot of support. We have received medical materials as well as the vaccines that have saved millions of lives.
Deseo agradecer profundamente al Centro Mundial de Sinología, en particular al Dr. Xu.
Secondly, I also would like to say thank you to the WSC and its president, Xu Baofeng.
A las autoridades del Consejo Latinoamericano de Sinología, representada en la figura de Sabino Vaca Narvaja o Nieu Van Tao.
And also, I'd like to thank BLCU's leaders, as well as the other members of the Council of the World Conference of Sinologists. And also Mr. Mao Youcai and Niu Wangdao from Argentina, because they have invited me to understand the Chinese civilization.
Secretaria General del Consejo Sino-Latinoamericano, y a Joaquín Rivera, Secretario de Relaciones Internacionales del Partido Justicialista de la Ciudad de Buenos Aires.
In the meantime, I also would like to thank my colleague from Argentina for the hard work of his side. That's why we could be in this opening ceremony today.
Futuro de las relaciones sino-argentinas, lo académico, lo científico-tecnológico, lo cultural y lo político.
The relations between China and Argentina would be covering many domains like the politics, culture, etc.
Venimos aquí a comprometer nuestros mejores esfuerzos para desarrollar esta tarea, con particular énfasis en la incorporación de jóvenes al conocimiento de esta maravillosa cultura.
For academic and the technological side, we will do our best to promote our collaboration programs, especially with engagement of the young generation.
Como miembros de esta delegación, me acompañan máximas autoridades de universidades argentinas para trabajar en proyectos e iniciativas de cooperación que permitan fortalecer los lazos y el entendimiento mutuo.
This time in our delegation, we have representatives of provincial government of Argentina. During our visit to China, we're about to promote our collaboration programs between China and Argentina.
mismo modo, estamos interesados en avanzar en convenios de cooperación con organismos del Estado en sus diversas materias científico-tecnológicas.
We'd like to collaborate with Chinese universities and scientific research institutes.
Desde el punto de vista político, estoy convencido en la necesidad de profundizar las relaciones en nuestros partidos, por ejemplo, propiciando el intercambio de experiencias en la formación de cuadros políticos, de gestión y de gobierno, y propiciando acuerdos de amistad entre los miembros y autoridades de nuestros partidos.
For a political side, we'd like to deepen the relations between the parties, like the party member cultivation and also exchanges of party members, so that we can form a community of shared vision.
Aspiramos al desarrollo de una comunidad de destino compartido con justicia y soberanía política.
And we need to promote the friendly exchanges and cooperation.
Hace ya 50 años, el 1 de mayo de 1974, el líder y fundador de nuestro movimiento, el general Perón, nos decía que existen dos procesos que son indetenibles: el continentalismo y la integración universal. Y es nuestro desafío ser parte de este proceso de integración, so pena de quedar fuera del proceso histórico.
50 years ago, our party's founder, Mr. General, has mentioned that there are two things that are unstoppable. First of all, integration of the South and the North, and another is globalization. If we face up with those tendencies on our own, then we cannot embrace a bright future.
Aspiramos a una nación con suficiente capacidad de decisión propia, inserta en una comunidad nacional, en una comunidad internacional que promueva la justicia, la independencia y la soberanía política.
We hope that we can have a country that can decide on our own affairs, so we can have political sovereignty.
Desde nuestra concepción del mundo, la relación con China se vuelve estratégica. Compartimos la visión de un mundo multipolar donde el diálogo y la cooperación sean los pilares para la construcción de un futuro común.
We always consider the relations with China on top of our agenda. Multipolar world is very important and is also the foundation for our future relations.
China, con su modelo de desarrollo propio y su apertura al mundo, se presenta como un socio indispensable para la construcción de nuestra sociedad argentina.
To build this partnership, China is an important partner that cannot be ignored.
Profundizar la cooperación en áreas como la ciencia y la tecnología, la cultura y la educación nos permitirá avanzar hacia ese destino común de países más justos y solidarios.
For scientific education and culture, we have to deepen the cooperation so we can embrace inclusive development.
La iniciativa de la Franja y la Ruta de la Seda, a la que nosotros adherimos con entusiasmo, abre un abanico de oportunidades inmensos para nuestra patria.
Argentina warmly welcomes the BRI, which has opened more opportunities for our country.
La relación entre Argentina y Chile no debe limitarse exclusivamente a lo económico o a lo político. Existe una profunda conexión cultural entre nuestros pueblos que se manifiesta por el creciente interés por el idioma chino, el intercambio de estudiantes y artistas y la difusión de nuestras culturas.
Relations between China and Argentina is not limited in economic and political side. We also have cultural communication. For example, we have many people learning Chinese. We also have the communication for traditional civilizations.
Trabajando en esta dirección, promoviendo el entendimiento mutuo y la amistad de nuestros pueblos. Solo así podremos construir un futuro de prosperidad compartida, donde la justicia y la soberanía sea una realidad efectiva para todos y cada uno de los habitantes de esta tierra.
We have to work towards this direction to deepen the friendship of our people. Like that, we can build a more prosperous future with also a community of a shared future.
Como dijo Xi Jinping, América Latina y China están separados por océanos, pero unidas de corazón. A la una y a la otra la vinculan no solo una profunda amistad tradicional y lazos estrechos de intereses, sino además la persecución a fin
As
de
is mentioned by President Xi Jinping, Latin America and China are separated by geographic distances. However, we are connected with our shared civilizations, common benefits, and also common aspiration for the same dream.
Para finalizar, quiero enfatizar, hay una sola China y las Malvinas son argentinas.
To conclude,
Muchas gracias.
there's only one China, and the Malvinas Island belongs to Argentina. Thank you very much for Mr. Emilio. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Shi Mainan, DDG of the Department of Foreign Experts from Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security. Honorable Vice Minister Lu Kang, dear sinologists, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great honor for me to take a part in today's World Conference of Sinologists. President Xi Jinping has pointed out, if we would like to govern the whole world, we need first of all the talents, because they are the key. It's through the talents that we can win the world competition. Today, knowledge, technology, talent, and the cultural exchanges are more than ever. Introduction of foreign experts could contribute to the cultural and scientific development in China. They have also played a very important role. Because there are exchanges, cultures could become more colorful. Foreign experts have different perspectives of academics, and they have also their own knowledge bases. They have contributed to the integration and communication among different civilizations. Foreign experts have also helped to tell a wonderful story about China towards the rest of the world. Sinologists, they are important bridges connecting China with the outside world. They have a better understanding of the Chinese civilization, so they could help to spread the Chinese civilization even further in the world. Thanks to your efforts, people of the world could better understand the Chinese language, history, civilization, and philosophy. Many sinologists throughout their life have been dedicated to the introduction of China towards the outside. A French sinologist has arranged the archives about the traditional China's development, a great reference. And Mr. Li Zhongfen from the UK has also demonstrated the glory of traditional Chinese culture and civilization to the rest of the world. These contributions by the sinologists have enriched the World Civilization Database. They have also promoted the dialogue between the East and West, and also has helped to promote the mutual understanding. If we would like to have greater bonds between the countries, first of all, we have to get started with people-to-people exchange. Foreign experts in this regard would have a very important role to play. And with their contribution, they have contributed to the mutual respect and understanding among different people. And this is an indispensable part. Since ancient times, China remains very tolerant and open. In ancient China, Silk Road has connected the East and West civilizations, promoted the trade and cultural prosperity. Today, we're still guided by openness and cooperation. We have strengthen the introduction of foreign experts. We have learned from these foreign experts. In the meantime, we have also created a better environment for work and life in China. This is our support for their work and innovation in China. Looking into the future, we are about to further facilitate the exchanges of sinologists from foreign countries in China. We are also looking forward to the participation of more sinologists into this career. We believe that with the joint efforts, China's economic and cultural developments can have a better future. Chinese culture could also make more beautiful blossoms in the international arena. To conclude, I'd like to thank all the sinologists for coming to our grand event despite the long distance. Thank you for your contribution to the world mutual understanding and collaboration. I'd like to wish the second World Conference of Sinologists, the Beijing academic session, a big success. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Shimainan. In BLCU, we have the World Sinology Center, which is an important academic institute and also a high-end think tank. It has connected with more than 5,000 sinologists coming from 100+ countries. The president of the WSC is Professor Xu Baofeng. Together with the other sinologists, they have very in-depth understanding of the Chinese civilization. Before inviting Mr. Xu, I'd like to invite all of you to watch the video.
为了系统梳理世界汉学与中国学发展轨迹，了解世界汉学与中国学发展成就和学术实际，北京语言大学卓越青年科学家创新团队在首席专家徐宝峰教授的带领下，历时3年，通过口述访谈、田野调查、文献分析等研究路径，系统性梳理完成了自建国以来全球5大洲汉学与中国学的发展情况，完成了32万字的世界汉学发展报告。报告分为2大部分，共15章。通过详实的数据，全面深入地反映了世界汉学与中国学在全球范围内的发展情况，勾勒出了全景式的世界汉学图谱，是中外文明互鉴的重要参考。
Honorable guests, sinologists, dear friends coming from different countries in the world. This is a part for the release of the results of research. However, I think it's more like a ceremony for me to express our gratitude. Over the past 13 years, we have visited 50 countries and regions. We have talked with more than 400 sinologists. And we have also made field visits to 17 countries of them, collecting systematically the data. Among 8,091 sinologists of the world, we have made the recognition and identification in a very systematic way, and we have finally made this series of works. We hope that after the publication, the sinologists present here today could help us to improve further the version. Among 108 countries, we have 8,091 sinologists. This is the total number. In America, North America, Latin America, we have the greatest number. Today in the Global South, we have relatively smaller number of the sinologists. And most of these sinologists, they are working in the scientific research institutes. For example, in North America, Oceania, and the UK, we have found 545 institutes with the sinologists and the sinology studies disciplines. In other countries, we found 858. In total, in the whole world, we have already created 964 study institutes for sinology. In North America, UK, and Oceania, 300, but for the other countries, 664. In the whole world, people have created 308 magazines and publications about sinology. And also for the age groups of the sinologists, we can also find some distinctive features. For people under 70 years old, the number is 2,101. And for people above 70 years old, 1,127. And the distribution of the sinologists according to the age groups. So very few sinologists under the age of 30. That's why today we are determined to cultivate younger generation of sinologists. And also for their study domain, literature, history, philosophy, translation is still the major area. 25% of the research topics are about the contemporary China's politics and economy, and most of these research topics come from the global south. In Latin America and in Africa, we can see a greater proportion of the sinologists doing the research about contemporary China. Some suggestions. First of all, we have to further the sinology development for the Belt and Road Initiative countries and also cross-discipline researches. For our World Sinology Center, we have created 12 physical centers for sinology. In the future, we will make the number bigger. According to President Xi Jinping, if we can trace back to the origin of the history, we can understand the world of today. If we follow the cultural roots, we can understand today's China. And it's only with the mutual study and learning of civilization can we realize the shared progress. So just a reference for all of you. Let's join our hands to make more efforts and make our career more important in the future. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Xu Baofeng. In order to strengthen the faculty members, we have decided to appoint 3 professors as the director of doctoral thesis. And we will also issue the certificate of appointment to these 3 professors. Thank you, Professor. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Mr. Duan Peng to stay with me. 6 days ago, President Xi Jinping has made a speech gathering of the power of the Global South to contribute to the development of the community of a shared future for mankind. In order to apply the demand of President Xi Jinping, the same day of the speech of His Excellency on the 24th of October, we have decided to establish the IGS, Institute for the Global South. And now we'd like to start the inauguration ceremony for this Institute for the Global South. Thank you for the 4 leaders in inaugurating the Academy of the Global South. And that is all for the opening ceremony. It's time for a tea break. I'd like to invite the sinologists on the first row to take a photo of the group. Later on, we're about to enter the session of keynote speech.